Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 9th of 9th. What am I talking about? The 6th of January episode of the Bevies, Blades, and Bushcraft live stream, where we got us some bevies, we got us some blades, and we may in fact discuss some. Well, we will talk some bushcraft adjacent stuff. Got just a little touch of rust appearing right there. I'll deal with that tomorrow. Oof. Maybe I'll deal with that tonight, actually. So, if you're watching us, time shifted to tomorrow or next week or whatever, thanks for kicking with us. I love knowing that you're out there, even if you can't be blibbing and blabbing right there with the rest of us. After the fact takes a certain amount of dedication, an angelic spirit, a strong soul, a stout heart, and at least a liter of water. If at any point tonight you're absolutely loving what's going on here, then I invite you to drop me a smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you kind of really don't like what's going on, in fact, you're kind of feeling the hate, that's okay. Just drop me a frowny thumb. Works just as well. And if you would like to take a more active role in keeping the light on around here, then I do invite you to investigate that join button right there. Give it a little right click, open it in another tab so that you don't lose track of all the great combos happening here. And then what you will see there is the 2 layers or tiers, as I like to say it, of membership that are open to you for your hard-earned folding cash, as well as what each of those tiers gets you. Without much further ado, I'm going to take another sip of tea because it is, in fact, a good drink. I would like to acknowledge that I do have to cut my hair because I'm starting to look a little hippie-like. And I will just relax for the first time all day. How's everybody doing? I'm just going to check out the side chat, see who's kicking with us. Boom, boom, rolling on up. It is currently 21:04. So I'm expecting that I'm starting a little late because I believe I hit the post button on this scheduled live stream at like 8:45, 8:47, something like that. And if I know you guys, Country Boy, 8:49. Excuse me, fuck off sign that says, oh, we're after the first 8 seconds. A Country Boy Trapped in This City, by the way, is a channel hero and a channel mod. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to turn off the damn Wi-Fi just in case we get all buffery and crap. So there we go. Wi-Fi is now off, so it should have seamlessly transitioned to the Ethernet. We got Mr. Marcus right after at 8:51. Howdy, folks, and happy Tuesday. Marcus is a channel hero. How you doing, Marcus? It's always a good night when Marcus and Country Boy are in. And then hopefully, yeah, there we go. There's Mr. P. I'm just sort of scrolling past all the hellos and hellos and hellos. What we got here is Mr. Chris saying hi. I was thinking about you the other day. We were driving home from the cabin where we stayed a couple of days, and there were these huge semis just booting down this icy ass road, and the madame was like, "Are you guys crazy? We're right here," kind of thing. And I said, "It's okay. They're wearing winter tires." And she said, "They don't have winter tires." So now I know that you don't necessarily live in the frozen north, Mr. Peanut Trucker, but do they make winter tires for huge rigs? Everybody's saying hi, hello. There's Mr. Canadian popping in, dropping the usuals, waving, smiling, thumbs upping, camping, kitchen knifing, axing. It ain't a real oh, little campfire. Little campfire action. I had a little campfire action on Sunday, and I was very happy about it. First campfire in God knows how long. And it sounds like Mr. Scott is finally over all the viruses. Yeah, that's a crappy hand to be dealt. Sorry to hear it. Chris is doing a 3-day fast, so just beef and chicken broth. I'm guessing that's beef broth and chicken broth rather than a big hunk of beef floating in a plate of chicken broth. What are you fasting for? That's probably a terrible question to ask. Never mind. If it's medical or something, I'm just outing. Never mind. Forget about it. Forget about it. Marcus also had beef broth. Came with a side of steak. Okay. All right. Marcus has never tried a fast yet. I do not like to fast. When I hate is when I have blood tests that require me to do a fast. That's when, like, if it's a 12-hour fast, I want to go for my blood test at like 9 a.m., 8 a.m. because I'm not hungry anymore when it's bedtime, and I can handle it. I can handle not eating until about 9 or 10 or whatever. Anyone up? Canadian at 8:56 says be right back, but that's okay because I wasn't even online yet. You guys are just like bam, 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 and I haven't even joined yet. I think that there's some stuff missing. Oh no, there's the real Grace. How you doing, Grace? Waving to us all at the ripe old time, or what? At the crack of 8:55 p.m. I'm just sort of scrolling. Marcus says to Peanut Trucker that he needs to get a Coleman lantern for camping. He does need a Coleman lantern for camping. Yeah. There's Destiny. Still has not updated her handle, but that's okay. She says what I was saying, that we're all glad that you're doing better. Well, Chris's dad had some of them lanterns, but he hasn't gotten them from his mother yet. They're from the 80s. Cool. I love me some old stuff. I love me some old stuff. There's Destiny saying hi to everyone except me. But following it up with a hello to Jess. Boom, baby. In celebration, I'm drinking tea. Okay. That would have been funny for you guys. I don't know. I don't know where Krista is. I just don't know yet. Gonna be here probably. Apparently, getting sick is something new for Country Boy. Well, let me tell you, as a guy who is alive thanks to Canada's medical system, I envy you that. I just clicked on the wrong dang thing. There we go. Christy's in the house saying hi. How are you doing, Christy? As I'm scrolling on down, hi. Yeah, I know, Mister. How's it going? Excuse the sniffling. I think I must have caught a cold or something. I was going to say something. Oh, there's Hike with Mike. How you doing, Mr. Mike? How's the weather down there? Up here, it's not as cold as it was the last couple of days. We are at -8 right now. And today is a beautiful -6 to -13. Thanks for reminding me. I have to screenshot that for my journaling. From my journaling. Boom. Screenshotted. I like to list the weather on whatever day it is in my thingamajiggerbob. I am about to bore you all to tears. Up here, Tabernacle. Up there are the icons for sun, moon, blah blah, and then down at the bottom, I like to. God, jeez. I like to mark down the temperatures because I'm just that boring. It'll be interesting. It'll be very important information someday in the future. A record of the climate and weather of the Montreal area, as kept by the late great raconteur of weather, Jesse Courbet. Um, scrolling. I thought I heard that too, Marcus. I thought Destiny said she had a lantern or two. Rawhide. Stop it. Destiny does, and we'll have to post them on Discord. I back that concept. I think that's an excellent idea. Christy, how was your trip? I will let you know as soon as I'm finished saying hi to all the peeps. Canadians heading to the cabin on Friday. Yeah, okay, so hold on. Fitzy, is it relatively close or far away? Canadian says an hour and a half. So, okay, hold on. Hey, there's Mr. Bluegrass. How are you doing tonight, Mister? Mark. Sorry about that. That yawning. I hope the weather's treating you well, and I hope that you're having a great night. Chris says unto me, I have all-terrain tires on mine, but they do come with knobby big lug tires made for snow. Canadian truckers always go fast in the snow. That they freaking do. Canadian says, would love to go to the Caribbean, but the missus cannot leave the country while on disability from brain surgery. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's a drag, but yeah, that makes sense. Old school is the best school. Bring it back to the old school. Let's bring it back to the old school. I like the old school. Well, I like old school tools. I like old school build quality. I don't like all old school. Oh, you're fasting for a reset. Okay, that's good. That's cool. That's a step I would have a hard time taking. I have a friend who does intermittent fasting as a weight loss thing. I just take ADHD meds for weight loss. For God's sakes, what a nightmare. Mr. Jim saying, "Howdy, I'll see y'all in 30 when I drive home. Gotta finish the work thing." So, Christy, there's a couple of things happening here. One is that my hands are epically dry right now, very dry. In the winter, they always dry right out. And so, like, my cuticles get destroyed because they dry and they crack and everything, but also boring and maybe TMI, but no, it's not TMI. The ADHD drugs I was on before the ones I just switched to, I just destroyed my nails. And I hadn't been like, I was a nail biter when I was younger and I stopped. I still kind of often had my nails in my mouth, like I was cleaning out under them or whatever, but I bit them all to the quick. So it's like years of progress just gone. Just gone. They look terrible. They're awful. It's embarrassing and it's painful. And like I've got all these little splits because of dry skin. Oh, for land's sakes. All these little splits everywhere because of dry skin. It's like my hands are just killing me right now. Killing me. But yeah, so my hands need some love. Like even right up, the cuticles, how they're sort of peeling all the way up. I got to take that off. Oh, everything hurts. So yes, you're right. My nails are in bad shape. Canadian says her vision isn't good yet, so she's off until her vision comes back. So is there like a timeline for that, Canadian? Is it like a few months, or is it like another year, or what? How long is the recovery? It's hand cream. Oh my land, I'm gonna smell like a perfume shop. Like, how long is the recovery from brain surgery, Mister Mister Jerry, Mister Gary, Mister Canadian? Just sort of. I mean, listen to my hands. I mean, it's awful. Winter's never great on my skin. Or my mood. The darkness of the year equals the darkness of my soul. I do get the winter blues in a big way. What's it called? SAD syndrome, seasonal affective disorder. Um, so I somewhere around here I have a little sunlight that I use in the darkest part of the year, which if I could find it would be on right about there right now. That does tend to help the mood a bit. I don't know if that's pure ass. Um, I just glitched on the word I was about. It was about to come out, and it just went, bye bye. Placebo or not, but I do feel better when I've got a sun lamp. Marcus has some Wi-Fi thermometers that log the temperatures. I have one outside, and it's fun to go back over the years and see what the temperatures were. Whoa! I will take a link for that if it's not going to be like wickedly expensive, because I'm going to try to underspend for this year. I mean, I bought myself a Christmas gift or two, but I mean, for the rest of the year, I'm underspending. But I would absolutely love to know, because that's exactly the kind of stuff that I have come to find very interesting. I have apps for bird watching now. Okay, I mean, I have absolutely gone um, all in on being post 50 and white, like all the most boring stuff. But I just find that stuff fascinating. I love it. I just got to keep putting more cream on and drinking a lot of water. Oh, hey, look at that. Fitzy got the pemmican today. It's the best thing on tonight's charcuterie board. My colon is so confused when the nosh is done. How many different flavors did you get? Mine was the mitosh too, wasn't it? I used to buy a different kind at when it was Mountain Equipment Co-op, but it looked different, and it wasn't from the same place. I'm trying to scroll through to see what picture was mine the mitosh. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so that mine, the one that I showed you is the maple Saskatoon berry. The other one was, I think it's a green rather than purple, and I don't remember what it was, but I thought it was a little better actually. Oh, shite, Canadian. I did not know that. He could never come back. Oh, that's not what I was hoping to read. So, okay, we're hoping it does. Okay, so let's just maintain optimism, and maybe I should stop asking so many questions. Country Boy's working on some suspenders for a family wedding in February, but I'm listening and reading for you troublemakers. Oh wait, Russell and David aren't here yet. I'll let you know when they're here, and you better be on your A game. Ah, no. The tumor pushed so hard on optic nerves they may have atrophied. That's not great, man. Yeah. I see you're hoping for the best, but they are branded as Govi from the place that I shouldn't mention. Govi thermometers. I shall just do a quick lookup for those, and if they're really cool, I will add them to my thermometers. Are they thermometers or you said they're Wi-Fi, right? Or are they like 30, 40 bucks? Marcus, you can send me a photo off of over on the Discord if you want, because I think that would be very cool. Country Boy says unto Canadian, my brother had a stroke a few years ago. They did surgery last year to stop a bleed that was still causing problems and screwed up, giving him third nerve palsy. These stories are great. But he does say something that I find can be true, that the brain can do some amazing things to fix itself. Sometimes it really can. And as Canadian says, he's just happy she's alive. We'll deal with whatever happens. At least she's made it. That's true. I mean, hey, there's Beto. How you doing, Mr. Beto? It's nice to see you for the second time this week. um, so for those of you who weren't like on your A game, your online A game last night, I came to sit down at my computer and do some stuff, and then I got a notification, or I think I got a notification, something. Shawnee Grows was on live unexpectedly, and I was like, I actually get to see a Shawnee live. So I clocked in, and there was Mr. Beto and a couple of other peeps. It was a good live, lots of good information about gardening. I'm going to try this year to make my hummingbird feeder work. I'm going to try to plant some hummingbird attracting flowers. See what'll work. See what'll stick. You know what I'm saying? So went to the cabin. It's an so my wife and her a work friend of my wife's and his husband have a log cabin out in Grenville sur la Rouge, which is kind of near Hawkesbury if you're in Ontario, kind of near La Chute if you're in Quebec, kind of. Um, in the sticks if you're in the United States. And they bought the land next door. There was an old guy there, had a country house, a cabin, and was too old. So they bought his place, set it up as an Airbnb, and so they rent it. And it's very nice. It's very well appointed, very clean, in a very nice little piece of land. There is a large clearing for power lines, like the trunk lines going relatively close. And you can hike to it and get big sky if you want to look at the stars at night or whatever. And we've rented there before. Videos I did a long ass time ago, like a video where I was showing Cody knife skills and axe skills and all that. That was there. And anyways, they were just between. I don't know. We got the place from Sunday till Monday. Very short. I'll take what I can. Clem and I played in the snow. Then the girls and I went for a hike. On Sunday, I made a camp. I almost failed to make the campfire because at minus 14, with no gloves on, trying to get a ferro rod and a knife to work is bad enough. But when it's like when the feels like temperature is like minus 21, like my hands were starting to freeze up, and I was like, I gotta get this fire going. I finally got it going. It was cold enough though that the fire didn't really heat you up. Like it sort of heated you up, but you kind of had to keep moving or get really close to it anyway. But it was really nice. I spent like from the afternoon into the evening just sitting there by the fire, throw another log on, stare into the fire. What do you mean 3 hours have gone by? That's how you know you've had a good night, a good evening. That's perfect to me. You glance into a fire and then 3 hours disappear. It's just the magic of the way the flames move and look and sound and smell, and the coughing when the smoke comes at you. I didn't actually have that problem because the wind was pretty solidly going in the other way. But it was nice to get my tools out, do a little stuff, bring Cody's axe, have her chop some wood. Um, I had her start the fire in the wood burning stove inside, which she did with one strike of the knife on the ferro rod. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" She's like, "Uh huh." Well, actually, she was every bit as thrilled as I was because she hasn't done that in years. She's 14. It's hard to not get distracted by iPads and boys and friends and eyelash curlers. Um, but yeah, so it was nice. It was nice. I still maintain there's nothing like heating with a wood burning stove. There's nothing. It just feels different. It feels better. Um, Let me just hold on. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I came home last night. I didn't have all my tool care tools. So like after using this, I wiped it down because it was all like there was snow everywhere and snow was getting inside the masks. So I tried to dry it out as well as I could. But there's a little rust on there that I'm gonna have to deal with quickie frisco, even though I oiled it. So I will do that. I'll check Cody's axe as well. The Cody's axe is a Wetterling's forest axe, the full size forest axe. What is that? A 20 or 24-inch handle? 22. You guys will see because I actually shot some video, and I'm hoping that this week I will get something edited. Obviously not tonight, but maybe I'll do part of it tomorrow night or something. I also have to practice because I have gigs coming up. So it don't rain, but it pours. Yeah, Canadian says whenever there's brain surgery, all kinds of chances for a bleed or damage. So yeah, that's why whenever look any kind of surgery where someone goes under, there's always a danger of some brain damage or whatever, even just from being knocked out. So yeah, get fuchsia baskets, Jess. Hummingbirds love them. I don't know if you're talking true or if you just want to see me going hi friendlies with a bunch of fuchsia baskets in the background. Hey, Mr. Russell is here, just finishing some chores. I have chores too. Look at this huge mess behind me on the table. That's awful. I see a bottle. Yeah. Yeah, it's messy here too. I gotta. I'm pretty much unpacked. There's just a couple of things left. Like I need to care for my tools, um, which I would have done when we got back, but we tore down Christmas that night instead. Um, Everything's packed and or tossed except for the tree, which is going to go out tomorrow night, I believe. Um, and I'm also going to just spend an hour zen out with some tool care. Going to give these babies a good wash, and then take some sandpaper to them, make sure they're nice and skookum. Because for me, there's a real I get a real sort of I zone out, and I don't zone out. I sort of zen out when I'm doing tool care. I enjoy it. Russell is being uncharacteristically nice. Yeah, I think I back what Destiny says here. I mean, you know you're one of us, buddy. Just let us know every now and again how things are going. Marcus says, "Howdy to Russell. I may make a request for Show Us Your Lanterns thread on Discord. I would love that. I want to see what everyone's got. I still there's a couple of lanterns I still want, and I may want another Coleman too, another vintage one though, because there is a real value to those Colemans in a very different way than the hurricane lanterns that I'm all about. Like I think I prefer sort of the visual poetry of the hurricane lantern, you know, sitting at your desk while you're writing with a quill or whatever. But or you know, when I for ambiance, sitting at the picnic table at the campsite and doing some journaling or reading or whatever, the ambiance is unbeatable with a hurricane lantern, but the lighting is better in terms of it's after dark and I'm trying to make myself tea. I want the Coleman there. And also it matches my stove. I mean, come on. I like it when they're what's it, the carpet matches the drapes? That's a terrible thing to say. I shouldn't have said that in public. But anyways, um, but yeah, it's nice. I think it would be nice to have two Colemans in the campsite for sure. Am I stammering more than um, usual tonight or what? Oh yeah, Destiny's seconding. So I, you know, Jim says my wife's brain bleed slash stroke happened due to a clot busting drug. Clot in her leg. She's so lucky to have not lost much. Just a small area of vision. Wow. Okay. Yikes. Whoa. Russell is fast. He says done. I'm gonna love this. Hey, David, the instigator in the house. David is I have not been saying sorry guys. David is a channel mod and a channel hero. Russell is also a channel hero, and I'm not gonna really catch up. Never mind. Sorry about tonight, guys. Oh, there's a deep cut calling him Porthos. Who was I? Who was I? Canadian says to David, "You missed a lot of snow." I did not miss the snow. Russell, David, I think I heard your wood stove crying. David's like, "No, man, that was me, my beloved wood stove." Wait, Country, I thought you were just being funny. You get fuchsia baskets every year? Is Send me a link or something. Like, is a fuchsia basket? I thought you were talking about just. I have too many questions. So many questions. Canadian is irritated by shoveling the deck 3 times a day. I will probably, after this live stream, go and shovel so that tomorrow morning's shovel will not be too epic. Because between 10 tonight and 5:30 tomorrow, we're supposed to get a fairly large dompage. But like right now, it's a chance of rain. Right, so who the hell knows? It changes. The weather in Montreal is schizophrenic. Oh, Christy, I'm not sure. So this is that Scarabus, which is one of the whiskeys I got for Christmas. For Christmas. Or if it's the Scarabus, I need a warning at 10 to 10. Or I will work on. No, I'm gonna bottle this down, the spice tree, because at that I can't leave it for too long. It'll just get ruined. So I'm gonna have the spice tree, which means 3 minutes to 10. I need a warning. Spice tree, a little dabble, do ya? Yep, and in fact, you need to shovel like a little trail or something to your gate. Hey, how's it going? Angry Auto reacts. How are you doing tonight? Are you I don't know where you are. Are you snowed in right now, or is it frigid? Or are you dealing with frozen rain? I'm just going through all the stuff that everyone around me up here in here in Quebec and Ontario are going through. Or are you somewhere where it's nice and warm? By the way, that's also a great handle. Steve Grounds in the house. Stephen Grounds popping in to say hi. Probably on the TV. Wait, one of you uses the TV and the other uses like a laptop or an iPad, right? Angry Otter says Texas. Okay. Okay. We got some good whiskey down there. Isn't that where Balcones is based? Canadian says his daughter's on a cruise sending videos. Nice. Where's the cruise? What was I talking about? What the hell was I talking about? I do not remember what I was talking about. So that cabin is it uses a well. There's no pipes going to the cabin. It's well based. So like you're not having like 3 showers in a row or anything, because if you empty the well, it takes like 8 to 12 hours to fill it again. So like if you have to empty the well, do it right before bedtime. And then for land's sakes, don't get up to go potty. Don't know what we have. Rebecca Creek bourbon there. I do never heard about Rebecca Creek. Chrissy says he was just on his phone outside, but normally he's on the TV and you're on your laptop. Yeah, right. Country Boy says, I discorded you a pic of what the hell I'm talking about. Is this something I can show on screen? Where's my damn Discord? Where's my damn Discord? Hey, you guys want to see like the final piece to the Nesmith trio I'm trying to build? I sort of did a deep dive. No, hold on. Let me just check the Discord first and see what the hell he's talking about. Oh, that's because Discord's not on. That's why. Never. I just want to check to see if you use your real name or not. No, you don't. Okay, so can I just show the oh, like a basket of hanging fuchsia. Ah, for the land's sakes. How fucking stupid do I feel now? I am. Oh, I just said a bad word on the screen. On the screen. Yes, I understand. Let's proceed. Don't show me this warning again. You are so. Yes, allow. Share this one now. Loading. Show on stream. So, when he said fuchsia baskets, I thought he meant a fuchsia colored basket. That feels dumb to me. Not what he said. What I said. All right, I'm gonna yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, I have discovered the last element that I'm aiming for. I shall now share again. Screen. I said don't show again. Now, I will not be buying this anytime soon, but because this is American, this is $63.99 American, which is like, But this is pretty much the exact pattern that Nesmith used. It's called a moose pattern. There's a couple of companies that make moose pattern knives, and so this is pretty much it. I think it also seems to be the same size as the one that Nesmith used, because you look at a bunch of these little knives online, and then you end up realizing that they're like about 2 inches long. This one looks like the size in the Nesmith book. So I think maybe for my birthday I'll treat myself, because $63.99 in Canadian, that becomes more like 68 Canadian plus whatever the shipping is going to be. But yeah. So I think that's what the last piece of identification needed. The last, you know what I'm saying. I just like my mind just went. Um, hold on. Hold on. There. My family is famous for moonshine. Lawless is about my great uncles. Really? Huh, that's cool. Um, so I would love to have a still. Like if I won 30 mil, I would buy a still. The OGs here have heard me say this before. Like a little hobby still. Set it up in my garage, put up a barrel of single malt and a barrel of rye, and let them age for 10 years while I play around with other stuff. Make some gin, make some whiskey. 3-year whiskey, just to sort of have around, make drinks with, stuff like that. I would love to have it, but like I would buy a still. I wouldn't be building. And here's the thing: it's not illegal to have a private still in Canada, but it is so hard to get permitted that it may as well be illegal. But I don't live anywhere where I could be moonshining in the traditional sense at all. I wouldn't anyway. There's law enforcement in my family, so it would be professionally embarrassing for them if I got caught doing something bad. Bad. Um, uh, 2 owners ago of the next door house, their garage does not match ours because he blew the top off his once. He was a chemist, and he was doing chemistry things, and so as far as being a danger to yourself and others is concerned, I wouldn't be doing that. But yeah, it's tough to get a permit for a small still. David's camera's at home, showing him lots of snow. Yeah, it's if the weather around there, your unnamed neighborhood, is anything like the weather around my unnamed city is going to be, you're probably going to get rain, and it's going to get. Christy says, put away $20 a month, $5 a week, and by May you will have enough. That's true. That's true. And in fact, if I wasn't trying to do underspending this year, I would have just bought that by now. Just like 65, 68, plus probably about 20 shipping. The thing is, man, it gets to be an expensive knife. It gets to be an expensive knife. And it's where Marcus is, and he is not exactly in your neighborhood. But yeah, the snow. I think that it's going to be melting across eastern and central Canada over the next little while. Real moonshine will mess you up. Store-bought stuff is just a vanity drink. Yes, I have heard that, actually. I have absolutely heard that. I don't disbelieve you at all. David just asked Marcus if he can teach his dogs to wipe their meat. And they can only do that if they're male dogs. Oh, shut up, Jesse. For God's sake. What time is it? 21:46. I want to do that Nesmuk series soon. I'd like to do it this year. If not, well, maybe by fall. Look, I like camping in fall best anyway. I need to find a place to go and do some wild camping. What I need is to buy a little chunk of land. That's what I need to do. But that would require some conversations at home with the family. Yeah. I'm just waiting to. Regard says, we are spoiled here. We can have alcohol delivered right to the house. When I was in Mississauga, it was weird going to the beer store. Yeah, I can't have stuff delivered. Well, I can. I can order stuff from Alberta, and Canada Post will deliver it. But you're not technically supposed to. Like if I bought something from the SAQ and had it delivered, they would deliver it to my local SAQ. If I spend $75 or over, I don't pay for it, right? But I still have to go pick it up. So I order most of my whiskey from Alberta anyway. It's very expensive, but they do have stuff there that we cannot buy here. Christy can have liquor delivered here from any store. And like, dude, in the UK, you can order whiskey from Amazon, right? I mean, there's a lot of space, a lot of places that are better than here in a lot of ways. There is benefit to never spending more than MSRP, though. No matter how popular a whiskey is. Now in Quebec, we don't have a beer store. The dépanneurs and shop and grocery stores. What the hell's a dépanneur outside Quebec? The corner store. Corner stores and grocery stores have great beer selection for hard liquor, gin, stuff like that, and better quality wines. You have to go to an SAQ location. Christy Grano says the only thing we can't have delivered is smokes. That's probably due to. No, I was going to say it's due to making sure you're above or you're over 18, but no, because if you can have liquor delivered, or whatever the age majority is wherever you live in Arizona. We can, because I'm just saying, like what Angry Otter is saying, we can have them delivered since COVID. COVID changed things in Montreal as well. Like you could order, takeout or delivery with a beer, whereas you could never do that before. I don't know if that's still true though. I don't know. I didn't pay too much attention. 21.50, but it doesn't matter because I'm having the spice tree. What are you having, Christy? Who's having a drink with me tonight? Who's drinking? Where has Serge been? I'm not sure. I haven't even heard from him on Signal. I don't know. Like there was hunting season in like early November, but Christy's having the Evan Williams tonight. Nice. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know where Serge is. Hey, where's Paul tonight too? Paul doesn't always come by. Like he pops in sometimes, but he might be busy. In fact, that's an excellent reason to not have this Garabus, since he's the one who gave me that bottle. David is going offshore fishing tomorrow. Gonna be a lot of fun. So what are you gonna fish for? Like, do you go out for something specific, or do you just sort of go offshore fishing and catch what you can? Yeah, you going for swordfish? Real Gray says, not sure if they do it this way anymore. When I lived in Germany 40 years ago, outdoor vending machines sold small bottles of wine. So I don't know, but that wouldn't surprise me because, like, when I was in Paris, you could have a bottle of wine in the park for a picnic, you know, and you can walk home with your beer in your hand in like the UK and stuff. So I'm not surprised by that at all. Like, drinking culture is much different in certain areas, you know. Like, French university students are not having keggers. You know what I'm saying? Um, Angry says, when I lived in Tokyo, they had the vending machines for beer. Yep. Yeah, this is true. Russell says, when we went on our sailboat tour of St. Vincent and Grenadines, I rented a fishing rod and fished the whole trip. I caught a barracuda and a tuna. I ate the tuna sushi style. The tuna must have been big. Well, I don't know. They're not all big, but they can get quite large if they're not overfished. Um, so David says he's going 14 miles out. Various fish, probably 40 feet of water. 14 miles out, and it's only 40 feet? Huh, okay. Excuse me, guys. Oh, 21:53. Gonna be opening that bottle pretty soon. I really wish I hadn't forgotten to be mentioning who's a channel hero and everything, but oh well. Oh well. Do you guys prefer camping in, oh wait, hold on. David wants to do a Caribbean sailboat charter. Pam does not like to sail. I love to sail, but I have never sailed blue water. Angry Otter says the lakes around here just have bass and trout, usually too small to keep, get thrown back. I cannot eat trout. Homie in the house. How you doing? Did you find anything cool, homie? How did your marinated meat taste? Asks Susie. If you're asking me, it was very good. If you're asking someone else, I do not know. But yeah, I did good work. Absolutely. In fact, I had leftovers of it cold last night with some cubed up cukes and carrots and tomatoes with a spicy mayo. Great supper. No notes. Yeah, I've never done blue water sailing. I've done a lot of lake sailing. Um, I'd like to try it. I'd like to try it, but like not as a passenger. I want to be an active sailor on the trip. Excuse me. Oh, Destiny's finally gotten back to me with the pemmican flavors: maple Saskatoon berry, which is what I had here, and maple cranberry Saskatoon. My other one wasn't either of those. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I don't know when it was. Mm. Yeah, I was gonna say because now I'm thinking about doing my Nesmic Trio video, and I really, man, that transition from September to October is just so magical. That's when I would like to do it. Gotta find a place. Russell says went with the sailing master. He taught us everything to pass the 101 course. We did a lot of the sailing. Yeah, that's it. That's good. I like that. He also passed the 103. So you're all certified and everything. Angry Otter says, I've only been to Toronto and Montreal, so my experience of Canada is very limited. Well, you've been to Montreal, so you've been to the best part. Next time you're in Montreal, if you're here on the third weekend of the month, come and see me play at Hurley's on the downstairs stage with my boys. Three minutes? 3 minutes. Unchill filtered, uncaramel colored. It's a blend. 46% alcohol by volume. It's a blended malt from Scotland. Fitzy said, you got to go to Berta. If you go to Berta in August, you can see me there every single year. I don't know about this year, though. Our fiddler needs shoulder surgery. Sailed a lot in my earlier life. Had a friend with an Abbott 33. He taught me to sail. I learned how to sail on a Beneteau first 30. Angry Otter's got a lot of cities on their list. Christy says, well, if you come to Phoenix, don't do it in summer, I think. Yeah, I would not either. The only time I've ever been to I was going to say Alberta, but I meant Arizona, was in November. And it was hot enough for me then. I no intention to go in like June or July. Absolutely not. Russell, what are you drinking tonight? David, are you drinking anything? That's my drinking. You know, it's whiskey time. Angry Otter says, true story. Same with Texas. We don't speak of August. Yeah. Russell's having a scotch or two. The nice thing about this bottle being where it is, and this only being a 46%, is that I mean, there we go. Bottled down. Bottled down. I mean, the way I learned to salute was this. The way my grandpa's learned to salute was this. So was that 1966, 68? When did they change? Was that part of the forces unification when they switched from that to this? To the Americans, that was something that happened in the Canadian Armed Forces, because the Navy always saluted this way. The British Navy always saluted that way. That's why you guys salute this way. And I guess we do too. But before, our Army and Air Force used to salute like this, just like the British and the Australians. Such a boring thing to talk about. Like, why did I salute? Oh yeah, because we bottled down, so you salute the bottle. Off season being April, so it wasn't too hot. Oh, you did your sailing trip in the yeah, having the Rideau. Oh, you're gonna be glad to have that Rideau finished, aren't you? And Goder says to the corner there. Yeah, it is here as well. It's just I wear glasses, so I had to do it a little further out. Yeah, it's to the corner of the eye. And the hand is perfectly straight. And the way you move the hand up the body change. Like you go straight up up the body until this, and at about the central, you go from fist to. Whereas obviously, when you saluted the old way, it was more of a like this kind of thing. Country Boy says, anytime I see that old salute, all I think of is Benny Hill. That's funny. Yeah. And the Navy saluted this way because it was to hide the fact that their hands were dirty from all the tar and everything. British Navy drill is also why some countries, like in the States, they don't stamp on the ground. They sort of click their heels together. It's British Navy foot drill. It was so that like 40 guys going stomp wouldn't go through the deck of a wooden ship. So they did heel clicking and stuff instead. You were thinking Benny Hill as well. I love that show. I don't know if I liked Benny Hill. I used to watch it and I found it funny, but I recently saw an old episode and I was like, this is some cringy ass stuff now. You know? Angry Otter says, luckily I was a civilian in the U.S. Air Force, so I didn't have to salute that often, but I still had to learn. I didn't know civilians ever had to salute. Saluting is really different in the States, though. Like, I think you guys can salute without a headdress on, whereas in Canada, we still follow the British tradition of if you're not wearing your headdress, you don't salute. You just come to attention, no matter what. Christy loved Benny Hill. I would come home from dates and watch it with my dad. Monty Python too. I can still watch Monty Python. It's a better grade of humor. Some of it is like hilarious. Some of it's kind of racy, but I don't have a problem with racy. But yeah, there's some classic Benny Hill. I'm not one of those guys who just quotes Benny Hill at you whenever he's uncomfortable, the way some guys can be. But I'm not Benny Hill. I'm Monty Python. Good old whiskey. Why the hell was I talking about saluting? Oh yeah, because I salute whenever I bottle down. It's one dead soldier kind of thing. I drop it a salute. That might be because my brain is gimpy, or it might be because I'm a creative individual and showing respect for the work that went into the bottle. I'm not sure which of those it is. Excuse me. When when I was an air cadet, we still wore the does anyone here know what the name of the Canadian Army dress green is? Was it called rifle green, or is that the British? But like when all the forces went from their environmental uniforms to the green in the late 60s, was that called rifle green, or is the British one rifle green? Anyways, we still wore the same green as the Army cadets, even though our headdress was different and everything, and our ranks. But I remember a couple of times in basic training, or was it junior leadership school? It was either at Bagotville or Lac Sebastien. But there was like this flash downpour in the morning, and then that went away, and it went up to like 40 degrees, and all these kids marching in columns with this like polyester dark green. You could see steam coming off of these columns of kids, and like a kid would go poof here and poof there. It was like they finally had to go into stand down because everyone was just dropping. Country Boy's going with Gimpy. Yeah, that might be it. You only had to do it during drills, maybe once a year. Okay. Hey, Tenenbaum's here. Good fit to you as well. We're having we're at the whiskey part of the night. Country Boy says ceremonial is rifle green. Yeah. So that's the same color that that the cadets used to wear. I mean, now only the Army cadets do. The Air Cadets have gone to the Air Force blue, and the Sea Cadets wear the black because that's what the forces wear now, right? But yeah. This isn't my most interesting night, is it, guys? I'm just bouncing all over the place, and I'm unsure. I'm trying to remember what you said, Country Boy, about my stream of consciousness. Like that pops into my head all the time because of how often my brain just sort of zoop goes somewhere, and then I'm like, how did I end up here? My train of thought gets derailed regularly. Russell says to drink more. Right, right. My stream of consciousness needs a beaver dam sometimes. Hmm. I finish a bottle of whiskey. Next, and somehow I transition from that to saluting to the colors of military uniforms. Yeah, Angry Otter's got it right. Absolutely, squirrel. Yeah. I'm also like flaky as shit because I just changed my molecule, my meds. Um, I'm less moody, but woo! Yeah, it's all in the pivot. Exactly. Yeah, it's all in the pivot. Um, you think after like if I pull my shift together enough to do that Nesmuk series, should I do like a Kephart? It doesn't have the same, like the Nesmuk trio is such a thing. There's no similar thing for Kephart, is there? Unless it's his was it Kephart had the first aid kit with like the cocaine in it and stuff? Can I do I have either of those books here? Do I have either books here? I got a book. I don't know where the heck I put my. Just give me a second here, peeps. What I'm trying to find is my freaking outdoorsy books. I mean, I've got them right here, but like I don't know where my Kephart and my. Well, I found one of them. I found the Kephart book. I don't know where the hell my Nesmuk is. The thing is, like, I lose stuff all the time, right? Marksmanship in the woods. The campfire. The campfire. The magical campfire. It's Nesmuk. No, it was Kephart who kept saying that the good pants are made of good pantas. Was it pantasote? Medicines, right? Is it? Does this have his? Yeah, personal kits. Okay, so hold on, hold on a second. Hey, Scott, how you doing? I've said that driving home from the bar. How did I end up here and wearing my shoelaces? Yikes! Hi, by the way. Carol's here. Hi. How you doing? So Angry Otter. Okay, crazy cool kids. I'm gonna watch a Cheers episode and call it a night. Have a good evening. You too. Enjoy your episode, and I hope to see you again soon. So, shall we do a reading of the first aid kit that Horace Kephart liked to have with him? Who's interested in that? Oh, a happy New Year to you as well, Scott. Medicines. In the matter of medicines, every man must take into account his personal equation and the ills to which he is most subject. But there are certain risks that we all run in common when we venture far from civilization, such as wounds, fractures, snake bites, attacks of venomous insects, malaria, foot soreness, ivy poisoning, and others that will be mentioned in the chapter on accidents. As for myself, as for myself, no matter how light I travel, I always carry either in a pocket or in my hunting pouch a soldier's first aid packet. ASMR, ADHD ASMR. Um, This can be procured from a dealer in surgical instruments or from a camp outfitter. It contains 2 antiseptic compresses of sublimated gauze, an antiseptic bandage, an Esmark triangular bandage with cuts printed on it showing how to bandage any part of the body, and 2 safety pins, enclosed in a waterproof cover. The whole thing being very light and compact. In snake time, I also keep by me at all times a hypodermic syringe with tubes of potassium permanganate and strychnine, the use of which will be explained hereafter. A permanganate solution will precipitate a sediment in a week or two. It is better to carry separately the crystals and a little vial of distilled water. A small bottle of unguentine and some cathartic pills usually complete the list for a short trip. Like, that this first aid kit ends up being in a huge wooden box, right? Yeah, I echo what Destiny says. I hope everyone's 2016 is going to. Oh, I just lost my page. I was going to go down the whole damn list, the whole list. But the page, it's like, you're not doing that to them. You're not doing that to them. You're not reading it. Oh, I found it. Found it. When going far for medicinal or surgical aid, I might pack along a box. I knew it was going to be a box containing the following kit. Don't tell me it's bedtime. Shut up. 3-inch artery forceps and a needle holder combined. Tooth forceps. Surgeon's needles, 2 straight medium, 1 curved medium, 1 curved small. Surgeon's silk, coarse and fine. Catgut ligatures, 3 2-inch rolled bandages, 1 yard of sublimated gauze in a bottle. Absorbent cotton, mustard plasters, belladonna plasters, hypodermic syringe, Bernays antiseptic tablets. Potassium permanganate, half-grain tablets. Cocaine and morphine tablets, cocaine 1 to 5 grams, morphine 1 to 40 grams, sodium chloride 1 to 5 grams, local anesthetic. Morphine, half grain, and atropine 1 to 150 grain tablets, intense pain. Strychnine sulfate 1 to 30 gram tablets, surgical shock, etc. Quinine, 3-gram capsules, malaria, etc. Sun cholera tablets, dysentery, etc. Seneca compound tablets, coughs and colds. Compound cathartic pills, soda mint tablets for sour stomach, heartburn, ivy poisoning. Trional, sleeplessness. Unguentine, burns, sunburn, insect bites, bruises. McClintock's germicidal soap, cleansing wounds. Vaseline, and 8 ounces of brandy in 2 small bottles. One such kit is enough for a large party. Like, could you imagine with the conversations that we keep having about first aid kits, right? That we're like throwing into our backpacks. Can you imagine that box of stuff? Like, especially because he was in a time when glass bottles, right? Not little foil packets all sealed up right or anything like that. Like, sorry, a little chunk of my nail is coming off there. Like, absolutely huge compared to what we carry now. And like cocaine and morphine, 2 different kinds of morphine, or no, 2 different strychnine, cocaine, morphine, okay, sodium chloride, whatever, quinine. I don't know why I'm blowing the pronunciation of that tonight. Like, wow. And brandy. Did he say why brandy? No, he doesn't. Yeah. An ulcerated tooth is a bad thing to fight in the wilderness. Grizzly bears are nothing to it. Some natives have an unpleasant way of extracting an aching molar a bit at a time by prying it out with an awl. No, not what I want to do. Hey, there's still 14 people hanging with us. I wonder how many Hey, how many thumbs ups do I have? How come no one's been reminding you guys to thumbs the app, to thumbs the app, to drop me a smiley thumb? That's because even my mods don't like tonight's episode. Is that what's going on here? I forgot to turn on the thing to keep my tea nice and warm. So now I'm having iced tea. Getting comfy. Getting comfy. Like, you guys know how, like in mountain biking, there's this whole class of guys called weight weenies, right? That'll spend big money um, swapping all the screws and bolts on their bike out for titanium because they save so many grams, and you know, all this stuff. And in hiking, there's something very similar. And then you look at like the lists of stuff that these guys like Kephart and Nesmik and like like even, I don't know, Bill Mason, you know, 60s, 70s, 80s. Like, how much stronger was your regular person in Kephart's time? Like going camping and stuff. I sometimes have this thought about people who are just living on a farm in medieval Europe. How much stronger you would have to be than a modern farmer. Um, a stone cutter, a stonemason, a carpenter, like all these things, all these jobs that were so much more manual, so much more strength involved than they are today. Like how how much tougher were people? You know? Uh, do, 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 do. Hold on. Always take the birch bark. Fair enough. Uh, Scott sees 19 thumbs ups. That's good to see. Country boy said, I was working on a project. I'm trying to do my job. That's why he's not. That's why he's not. He's not. Whatever it is I asked why people weren't. What the hell did I say? What the hell did I say? Yeah, how come nobody's. I'm just waiting for a bus here, people. Suspend us. Okay, I've caught up with everyone. Um, but like the Nesmic trio is something. It's like it's a thing. It's a thing in the bushcraft community and the wild camping community. Whereas the only real thing that Kephart has is that knife, and I would love at some point to get one, but the like if I wanted to do a Kephart camp, it's not as easy because it's so much easier to say, I'm doing the Nesmic trio because it's a portable thing. It's three specific tools. Whereas if I wanted to do the same thing with Nesmic, I kind of feel like you would need that canvas tent style that he used to use. What's it called? A trapper, prospector, whatever. Like to do the same thing like a Nesmic camp out, you kind of end up doing the larger, excuse me, the larger reality of it, because he's got a description of his custom canoe. He's got a description of his his tent. He's that becomes bigger, much more expensive for sure. And suddenly you're looking for Pantasote, um, and I wonder if it just comes down to the fact that Nesmith described the tools and had a picture that just sticks in your mind of that moose pattern knife, the double-edged hatchet, because it's a hatchet, and what we now call the Nesmith belt knife. His pictures have a power for sure, you know. Jim says, "Squirrel, was I distracted?" Scott says, "My grandfather was a Finnish carpenter back in the 30s who would walk and carry his wooden toolbox." Yeah, my dad was a carpenter for 40 years. Then he was a building inspector for the city of West Vancouver. Um, Tough job, but nothing like what your grandfather did, right? David, have I read anything by George Washington Sears? Yeah, I don't know where it went. I lent my Nesmith book to someone and it disappeared because I don't remember who I lent it to. I just sort of, I know what happened. I'm gonna have to buy that again. That's yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, it's a whole different. Like the older I get, when I finally do get my canoe, the more expensive it becomes, right? Because the lighter it has to be, because my knees are gone. They're not gone yet, but they're going fast. Like a couple of times now, I've almost gone down the stairs while trying to carry a Clem up to bed. And so what it becomes worth it for me to spend whatever it takes to get the latest canoe by probably Swift or maybe uh, Novacraft or something. But it turns into a $5,000 canoe, kind of. You know, these guys, these guys. Um, that was the era of if you want a light canoe, it's a birch bark. It might be canvas cedar. You know, um, because Kephart does talk about getting the lightest canoe you can because you're carrying the damn thing. I love the look of a cedar canvas canoe. I do. I've seen a couple of them in person, and it's just like freaking magic. But I do not want to bury myself in that kind of upkeep. The way you're one of these much more modern sort of not fiberglass, but whatever their high tech fiberglass analogs that Swift and Novacraft and I think H2O and guys like that have. If I can have the lightness and the knowledge that my canoe is not going to harry-kiri itself if it hits a rock right, then it's worth the money. Yeah, Tenenbaum says that the Voyageur and the Coureur de Bois carried ludicrous loads. Don't know how they did it, and that's why. So when the Voyageurs were heading out, and those canoes were big. Those Hudson Bay canoes were big, big. And their first day out was a short day. I don't remember what they called it, but they went about half the distance that they were usually expected to go in a day, so that if they forgot something, it wasn't too long a trip back to to their home base, but they had to cover lots of distance. I don't remember what the cadence they were expected to do as they were paddling was, but it's faster than we're used to. And they were carrying big packs. I don't remember how many pounds, but it was tens of pounds per guy. Yeah. Singing songs to keep the rhythm right. Se lever. Too early in the morning. Time to get up. Sleeping under a canoe. It's the kind of thing that to me sounds like a terrific 5-day trek, by myself, following, a small section of a voyageur route, for videos, but would probably find it a very rough life. Exhausting. I am a person who does love the feeling of falling exhausted into bed at night after a good day of hard labor. But for me, the context of that was when I was a teenager, working on construction sites, building, doing renos and stuff, So the hard work was, carrying lumber, hammering, sawing, getting sawdust everywhere. It wasn't like hauling ass, through the wilderness with huge canoes, huge pack on your back. Destiny says, I agree with Tenenbaum and the miles they portaged. Good Lord, talk about physically fit. Yeah, and it's exactly the same thing I keep thinking about, like an average farm boy in 1483 England or France or whatever versus an average farm boy who has motors on his tractors and stuff for plowing. I think that those guys were probably epically strong compared to anything we have now. "30 years ago," says Jim, "my dad and I used to do 1.5-kilometer portages, carrying our fiberglass canoe. What I would have given to lift a carbon fiber canoe then." Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess fiberglass is a whole lot heavier than carbon fiber for sure. Russell says, when you finally get your remote property and build your cabin, would you rather drive to it or canoe to it? The romantic in me would rather canoe to it. But the practical side of me would want to drive to it just to get my materials there, just to bring in whatever satellite dish system I end up with, just to not balance a wood burning stove across the gunnels of a canoe. Here's the answer. I want to be able to do both, but I would mostly canoe to it because I don't want my car next to my off-grid cabin. I want to be able to drive up to it to unload my stuff, bring my groceries there if I'm doing like a big load or something. But I don't want to drive up to it all the time. I don't want to sully the oral landscape with the sound of an engine. Now, granted, the older I get, the more different that answer may become, right? 40 years ago, that makes more sense. Jim says, canoe to it, of course, unless I could sail to it. That would be nice, actually. Have a dock with a 25 or 30-foot sailboat on it. But, dude, think outside the canoe. When you went to the Boundary Waters 40 years ago, you carried 2 Duluth packs and a cooler with food for 14 days. Could never do that now. Duluth makes nice packs, though. Here's the thing. Wow, why do we always get into? Why do I always become interesting this late in the live stream? I love stuff like those Duluth packs. My favorite pack that I would buy in a Montreal minute if I was better off. It's the Ile Royale by the Ile Royale Junior, actually, because I'm way too small for a full size Ile Royale, by not Duluth, but the other company. He's trying to remember. Hold on. Frost River. The Frost River Ile Royale Junior. Maybe the mini, but I think the mini might be too small. I mean, they're unaffordable in Canadian dollars still. But, oh, man, in a Montreal minute. Duluth makes some great packs. They make a very nice canoe pack. Um, Frost River makes a Nesmith pack that is apparently designed along what he. Oh, it's still gonna be like $400, so never mind. But yeah, even Duluth, I can't afford them. But yeah, the way you used to go camping was a whole lot heavier than it is now, for sure. And I couldn't do it now either. I'm not strong enough in my joints. You know, I'm over 50. You know, David says maybe the canoe is box shaped. No, I do not know what Mojo Psalms is saying. I think she's saying ape farts. I don't know. Hi? I don't understand. Um, yeah. So look, Fitzy. Yes, you're right. The mahogany boats, the Muskoka boats, absolutely iconic, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely not going to carry one. And I would love to build a cedar strip canoe. I would love to. That's a project that I've been dreaming of doing. In fact, I would even do a kit. You know, you can buy kits, and I mean, they're not pre-built. It's just all the strips of wood. You know, almost you know, pre-shaped for you. But you end up with an 80-pound canoe at the end of it, right? And I'm not carrying an 80-pound canoe. Okay, I would love a cedar strip canoe, like full on little brass nails and everything, and then of course the clear fiberglass covering. I would love that for a cabin that I have, you know, with the family, stick frame, with a a deck that goes out into the water, right? A dock, actually, a deck. I mean, I want a deck too, but I mean a dock. You know, and you just sort of, okay, 1, 2, 3, heave, and like three of you put it in the water. Absolutely. But I wouldn't want to portage that thing. I really want to build one though, a 16-footer. My garage is not long enough, and it's all full of my dead father-in-law's stuff. Because I'm with you, Fitzy. Like, there are certain things that are iconic, like the Muskoka chair, which is not the same as an Adirondack chair. Um, I always say, in fact, Fitzy's probably got this written down somewhere, that the canoe is to Canada what the covered wagon is to the United States. The canoe is hardcore Canadiana. It was the way we opened up the West. Oh, that smells so damn good. Um, Tenenbaum says, "Oh, this is interesting. There are some great YouTube videos of Hap Wilson bringing building supplies downriver to build his remote Temagami Lodge, accomplished by lashing multiple canoes together." I will look that up, and in fact, I might ping him. We're YouTube. We're friends on Facebook, though we've never actually spoken. So, does it mean anything? Yeah, I would love to go to the Canoe Museum in Peterborough. Do do they have one of Bill Mason's red prospectors there? I think I remember. I think Kevin told me once they did. But yeah, want to. Tenenbaum has shared, so I'm going to open in a new tab. Do not allow it to play. Do not play. Do not frickin' play. See how I'm showing it who's boss? I'm going to take a look at that. But the thing is, I don't. If I can just drive up to it in a frickin' F-150 or something that I rented because I would never own it, and dump my stuff off, like that's where I want it to be easy. Getting my stuff to the cabin to do the building, that's where I want it to be dead frickin' easy. And I'm getting to the age where if I'm sitting on my porch and I keel over, I want, and I hit the radio, the satellite phone. I don't want it to be hard for help to get to me. For my personal enjoyment, I would leave my car on the other side of the river or the lake and paddle to my canoe, to my cabin, for sure. All I care about is when practicality beats my stupid romantic view of what my cabin should be, that it's possible. That's it. I would almost never drive up to it because to me, paddling the Frost River. So I sort of as soon as I remembered that Frost River makes an Nestmik, I sort of did this sort of secretly, and I was right. It's $407 at the Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company. The Isle Royale Junior is the one I really want, though. It's got the axe sleeve in the middle. In fact, that was the first pack I ever saw with the axe sleeve down in the middle, and that's what made me think I want that because it's such a fabulous solution. Um, like if you have like an axe sleeve on the side, that's cool too. But there's something about that axe sleeve down the middle like that. All the packs that I want the most are because I saw something, an element of them that I'm like, I love that. Um, a good example of that is that Fjellraven. What's the name of it? I it's expensive and it costs extra to get the two side pockets, which to me are not negotiable. So I haven't bought it. But would it be mountaineering and snow sports? No. Trekking and hiking? No. They don't have like an ice fishing and hunting. So I don't remember what the hell that pack was called. It's the one you can sit on. And here's Tenenbaum, like it's called this dummy, but I can't remember what it's called. But it's the one that doubles as like a seat. And it's not a Kanken. A Kanken. Hunting backpacks. It must be. Yeah. The Shingy, the Singy Stubben. Okay, so I'm gonna bore you guys by sharing a screen. Yes, allow. Stop asking me. So here's another one that like I just show on screen. Like I saw the elements, the fact that you can sit on it, right? The fact that it's got this little blaze orange, and the fact that it's got these side packs. It would have to be with the side packs. That's a non-negotiable. Get out of my freaking way. Non-negotiable. But the side packs are like another 90 each, I think. I don't remember. But they were a big price difference. right? I can't use a silencer in Canada. I'm looking for something has changed because they used to sell this as an ice fishing pack, and now suddenly they're trying to sell it as a hunting pack as well. But you see this cover, I think it comes with that. Look at that. Look at how strong that frame is, you know? So it's just to show you that like whatever the things that make me think, wow, I want that rather than that would be cool to have, that would be a good tool to have is when I see an element, a design element that makes me go, they put some work in. Um, yeah, David, I cannot wait to see that museum one day. Um, Destiny says, I'll never forget when Russell transported the Wallenstein to his cabin. Yeah, I don't. I want transporting stuff to be dead easy. I think it was amazing that Russell brought everything by ATV to build his cabin. Now that I've walked and rode his trail, it's even more amazing. Yeah, I am I'm uneasy on an ATV on Russell's trail. I will walk the whole thing. I did not enjoy the ATV ride. I will gladly walk the whole thing. That's such a good whiskey. Yeah, the Singh Steuben. You have one? Oh, Jesus. Oh, David's out. All right. Good night, sir. Because you got to get up early to go fishing. Good night. If you're not already gone. Sleep well and enjoy your fishing trip. It ain't cheap even there. I think it. Yeah. No, it's not a cheap brand. That's the thing. You know, you spend. You think, and the cover is included. Yeah. Yeah. I would love it with the two side packs. I don't know if yours has the side packs, but in my thinking, because of the way the side packs lash to the sides, you can probably slip an axe behind that little side pocket thing, um, which would be a plus for me. I already have a hunting pack, even though I haven't been hunting in years. I have a hunting pack by a brand that completely escapes me, but it's really coolly engineered. It's sort of an almost brushed um, fabric so that it makes no sound, like there's no crinkling sounds or anything. Oh, all right. Good night. See you later, mister. Thanks for hanging with us. Um, hide that on the screen. But yeah, a nice pack. Oh, you do have the side pouches. Like I'm hoping that one day, maybe next year or something, I'll see one like on eBay, lightly used or something, and I'll just be able to do that because the price new now the price new is a whole lot less than that Il Royale Junior even, right? The Il Royale Junior is still $500 or something Canadian. Um, it's funny how buying something that's been relatively well cared for secondhand can cost so much less. Like there's a cost involved in being the first person with an item. This is even more true with cars, but you know what I'm saying? Like, um, so who's still with me? Sound off, y'all. Still, I know that Destiny's still here. Tenenbaum is heroically still here. Um, Jim is still here. I'm pretty sure that Christy's still here. Russell's probably still here. He's he's got staying power. Scott's here. Good. Nice to see you. And is anyone having an alcoholic beverage still? Does anyone know what the actual size difference is between the El Royale Junior, and the El Royale Mini? The Mini just looks too small. But Grace is still here. Nice. And Country Boy, of course. Of course, he's got staying power as well. Like, what I know from trying one on is that the full-sized El Royale is way too big for me. It's uncomfortably large. And I know that it's designed to be a canoe pack, sort of like, or not. It's designed so that you can get through kind of tight stands of trees. So it's like and like this, but it's too much. But I've never tried on the Junior, and I've never even seen the Mini in person. Excuse me. Russell, still here, brew. That's very South African of you. Still here, brew. Um, what was the time? Oh yeah, the Royale. I mean, I don't even know why I'm even looking at them. I don't even know why I'm even looking at them. It's because I love canvas and leather. That's why I'm looking at them. I love old school stuff. I love those old materials. And that's where I would be okay with the extra weight compared to like a nylon backpack. The reason I like that Fjallraven, and that even with the two side packs, I believe is it's maybe not more affordable than the El Royale, but well, then the El Royale Junior. The El Royale is expensive. Yeah, Jim, I haven't seen Marcel yet either, or Shawnee. Um, the reason I like that Fjallraven is because often when I'm sitting and doing some fire prep work, I wish I had something to sit on. Like I wish I had a stump there. And that thing is the stump. Right? So like in my head, like the El Royale, it was that axe sheath that sold me like right off the bat. With that Fjallraven, that's my stump, right? It's not a chopping block, obviously, but it's my stump, you know. And I do feel also that I would have an easier time finding stuff if I'm looking in something that is sort of structural. Tenenbaum says, my stupid is maxed out with side pockets above smaller pouches on each side. Oh, that sounds interesting. Check my signal. I shall do that right the hell now. Can I show this? That's not signal. Oh, there's somebody still awake up there. It's poetry. Let me double. Whoa. There we go. Now your name is not showing up. That's a thing of beauty. But are those tiny side pouches? Are those sold by Fjallraven as well, or is that like a third party thing? I really like that pack, dude. Like, and I like that it's kind of older. No, I like the fact that it looks like it's been used. It's not like crisp and pristine. I like my stuff to look. I like it when the stuff develops the patina of use, shall we say? Russell says, "Okay, oh man, let's talk about pockets. Who loves lots of pockets of various types in a jacket or coat? I do like a bunch of pockets. I don't always use all the pockets that I like, but I do like to have, two pockets lower, two pockets up here, at least one inside pocket. But I do want that inside pocket to be big enough um, for more than just a phone. Yeah, 5 pockets, one inside, one or two inside. It's great. Two lower, two upper. That's why one of my favorite outdoor coats that I have is a British Army combat smock from like the 80s or something. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. Um, Scott says back in the 80s, they called me Pockets because I had a hunting jacket. I had a total of 12. That's a lot of pockets. Did you have like shell sleeves for like a shotgun as well? The reason I like a lot of pockets, I like having cargo pockets on my pants, but I don't like filling them. Like some people fill those cargo pockets. I don't like stuff slapping around on my legs. I would rather have a bunch of pockets on a jacket or even a vest, maybe. Um, shotgun shell things on the sleeve. That's actually pretty good too. Actually, a nice sleeve pocket. That's good as well. Um, Jim still wants the Il Royale. So do I. I saw a pattern somewhere and would love to try making one myself. Your brother-in-law made a pack of his own. Never seen it. Not sure what it is. Um, there's a guy who makes a pack that's very similar, and he's a one-man shop. So I would love to support him one day. But again, he's in the States, and the blah, the price was crazy, crazy. What's his? I don't remember what it's called. It was in one of my gift guides one year. Tannenbaum just sent me. Oh, so the Singy gear holder, is that the little one? The little, oh, that's the little pocket. Oh, that's interesting. Free shipping of 100. Oh, so that's 25 euros. Oh, they make it in clay? Did they make the Singy do they in Sweden, do they do what? Because this little gear holder is in clay. Is that because it's not only for the Steuben? Or do they have a Steuben in clay over there as well? I must not look this up, he said while looking it up. Steuben. Singy Steuben. So this is the Swedish no, I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna ignore the live so I can look that up. Jim says pockets in my pocket. Hidden Woodsman, yes, thank you. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. Have you looked at the Hidden Woodsman stuff lately, Tenenbaum? Because he sort of stopped making stuff for a while, but then he came back. Excuse me, sorry guys. And there's the side pocket, which is 30. It's weird. The clay throws me. Yeah, the dark olive is what I would want because that's what I've seen. But if there's a clay version of that backpack, that would be cool and unavailable here. Absolutely unavailable here. But yeah, so Hidden Woodsman that bah, Hidden Woodsman also does that axe sleeve down the middle. Yeah, that okay. So that was my question. Is like, are these made for other Singy packs? Because I know that Steuben is not the only one in that line. Yeah, I like the dark olive anyway. I like the dark olive. But Russell, how many pockets do you like? Do you like something that's pockety pocketed, or do you like something a little more sleek? When I'm in the woods, here's what I want. I want wool. I want that Fjallraven Canada shirt. It's like $200 here in the traditional red check. I have whatever's the Fjallraven with like the like it's wool, but then up here it's whatever canvas or something. Yep, that's exactly what I was saying. And as a bonus, if there's one on the sleeve, that's even better. Oh no. Oh phew, thank the gods. I thought I clicked away. Oh, yeah, I see. So in the rest of the singy line, singy, um, I do love the clay color, but the Steuben used to come with like a forest camo pattern on it as well, I think. Years and years ago. But yeah, so cool. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's a dream pack. It's like it's a bucket list thing. I'm never gonna buy it, but I love it. Jim is not going offshore fishing before, but he does need to get up early. Have a great week, everyone. All right, good to have you here for as long as you were, and I hope to see you next week, Mr. Jim. And now, Destiny says, "Who needs pockets when one has a bra?" If I put on 1 more pound, I will have a bra, but you know, I'm trying to go the other way. In the previous generation, yeah, yeah. I don't feel that stuff in these price ranges are available to me. You know, Country Boys, how the hell am I still number one when I haven't? You're number one. You sent me whiskey, dude. That makes you number one in my books. I'm kidding. It's not about you guys sending me stuff. That's a terrible thing. As soon as I said that, I was like, why'd you say that? You're such a bitch. 2 minutes. 2 minutes until I have to go up and yell at my daughter to go all the way to bed. Just a little splash. Just a wee splash. Grace says, "You're just special." Tenenbaum, what do you think of that pack? Because Mike Morton used to have one, I believe, and he sold it along. Russell is going to have a wee splash. Good on you. Country Wise, I have no problem buying friendship chests. I don't have to be bought. I don't have to be bought. I whenever someone sends me something, I'm floored by it, but I don't expect it. Yeah, Tenenbaum, like I have this image of that bag, and I've looked at it in the stores, and I've absolutely fallen head over heels for it. But I mean, I'm assuming you've actually gone out with it. Is there like there's a difference between exploring every inch of something in a store, seeing every picture, dreaming about being able to spend the money, and actually taking one out for a few days. And for me, the main thing is that stool element. That's why, like, I'm not interested in it without two, and now that I've seen that, four side pockets, right? Because those as far like just from looking at it, I know I need those. But I also would not necessarily take it if I was doing a long haul hike. Like if I was through hiking the Appalachian Trail or something, that's not the pack I would bring. But for my bushcraft uses, when I'm sitting there and I'm like messing up some jute twine, or I'm trying to get the bacon ready to drape over the fire, like being able to sit on it, that's the thing, when I'm doing the bushcraft stuff. Country Boy is definitely special. Tenenbaum says, it's great for some specific use cases. I bought it because I wanted to be able to sit down whenever I needed to. Yeah, exactly. To do whenever he needed to do so. There's a weight price associated with that frame. It's not a super light. Yeah, no, that I definitely noticed. But if I'm like most of the bushcraft trips I take at this point, um, it's not a 20-kilometer hike. It's like 8, right? It's like 5. It's like driving to the trailhead and then wandering in a bit kind of thing. So it doesn't, it's not that big an issue for me. I don't see it as the pack for a 10-day trip for sure. It doesn't matter. I can't afford it. It doesn't matter. It's a dream pack. It's the same as the Il Royale Junior. It's a dream pack. It's not something I'm going to buy at this stage of my life. But I like thinking about it. I love in anything. I love seeing a design element that makes me go, you guys know. You know, it's not just packs. It's not just tents. It's not just axes. Do love axes. Gents, not only gents, ladies, friends, folk. I'm going to finish my little splash and I'm going to shut her down. Tenenbaum, one day I would love to see a picture of everything you've got. You've got great taste and stuff. Yeah, it's 23:03. And my nose is starting to run. I'm about to sneeze. Give me a second here, people. So I'm going to wash my glass, finish my water, and go to bed. I'm really happy that you guys hung out with me for this completely unhinged live stream. Next week, do you guys want to talk about some tools and backpacks and stuff? Like, should we bring some order to this and actually talk about some of these things like earlier in the night before my stream of consciousness lands on something bushcraft related? Is there anything specific? What? Is there anything specific you guys want to know about? I know maybe a Q&A is not really in the offing, but just ping me on Russell's Discord or any of the socials in which we know each other and have spoken, and let me know if there's something specific you want to talk about. Tenenbaum says I should go visit sometime. I would love to. So I cannot go to 11:30. I have way too much to do before bed, and my doctor is forcing me to be in bed by midnight for the next little while. Shall I say it? But I would love to go to 11:30 because now I'm getting really interested in what I'm saying. But anyways, so good night, people. Thank you so much for hanging out with me to the bitter end. Between now and next week, everybody, please be sane, be healthy, be safe, and be kind to one another. Good night, everyone.